Well, Brian, let's talk about Aramaic. This is one of the things which people, meaning well, often say, well, what's this about? Isn't the New Testament just written in Greek? And why are you bringing in this other foreign language? And are you trying to move the text in some way that shouldn't be moved? Tell us a little bit about what Aramaic is and why it's important. We don't want to lose anybody in this conversation, so we have to kind of go back to some basics here.
Okay. Well, Aramaic is a Semitic language. The Semitic languages are not limited to Hebrew, Aramaic, and Arabic, but basically those three branches of Semitic language. So there is a relationship to Aramaic and Hebrew. So when it comes to the New Testament, which is not Hebrew and not Aramaic, I believe in Greek primacy. We believe that the New Testament autographs, although we have none of them, they're called autographs, they're original manuscripts. We don't even have a fragment of an original Greek text. So we're by faith believing that in Greek primacy, but it's not indisputable. It is very much acknowledged and believed. But the Aramaic is related to Hebrew, but more so, it was the language of Jesus. The language Jesus spoke was not Greek. We've had dialogue about, whether Jesus had some measure of proficiency in Greek, possibly, but he did not teach in Greek. He taught in Aramaic. So the Lord's Prayer, the Beatitudes, every parable, every word in our red letter editions was in Aramaic. If we're true scholars, wouldn't we want to at least look at the heart language Jesus spoke in? So that's why I've chosen to sprinkle, that's the word I use, to sprinkle the Passion Translation with Aramaic nuances. Just like you season a meal, you get it seasoned the way you like it. And I think the Aramaic text really seasons the text powerfully. So there is a importance to Aramaic, but not, we don't want to overstate it. But what we've chosen to do is there are a few, not many, a few instances where we will translate the Aramaic as the body of the text with a footnote stating this was from the Aramaic. But more often, I will footnote Aramaic equivalents. I will put in the Aramaic text, it says this, so that you can see the nuance between Greek and Aramaic. Don't we want that kind of information? It's the language of Jesus, and this is how he thought and how he spoke. And I think we're going directly kind of to a source when we look at the Aramaic and glean from it. So that's our intention, is not to say there's, it's Aramaic primacy. We do believe in Greek primacy, but it's so important that we bring the nuance that Aramaic brings to us. Plus, there's some errors, I think, if we ignore the Aramaic. For example, it's easier to put a camel through an eye of a needle. Well, that is in Aramaic, the thing totally shifts. It's not camel at all, it's rope. It's easier to stuff a rope through an eye of a needle.
Which makes so much more sense.
Which makes more sense. And then there's the teaching that has come out recently that, there was a place in the wall of the door of the gate of Jerusalem that they called the eye of the needle, where a camel couldn't fit through.
But those are often explanations that come after the fact.
There may be, but that maybe 600 AD, 800 AD, and how many times has Jerusalem been sacked? So when you look at the Aramaic, it solves the figure of speech. It helps us unravel certain things.